What would you do if someone suddenly gave you $200,000? Would you start a business, buy a home, or save it for the future? Now imagine this. Months later, that same person looks into your eyes and says, "Tell me, the $200,000 I gave you, what did you do with it?" Your hands shake. Your heart beats fast. You know the truth is painful, and the answer will change everything. Before we begin this story, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And if you like stories full of emotion, mystery, and real-life lessons, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us till the end. It all started one sunny morning. I was sitting at a small cafe when Mr. Adams called me. He was my old boss, a kind, wealthy man who always trusted me. I hadn't seen him for years. He smiled and said, "David, I believe in you. I know you have dreams. I'm giving you $200,000. Use it to start your business and build your future." I was speechless. My heart raced. "Sir, this is too much. I don't know how to thank you," I said. He smiled softly. "Use it well, my boy. One day, I'll come and ask what you did with it." That day, I felt like my life had changed. I could finally make my dreams come true. I had always wanted to open a small restaurant, a warm place with good food and happy people. I told my wife, Emma, about the money. She was excited. "David, this is our chance. Let's make our dream real." We started planning, buying kitchen tools, tables, and chairs. But soon, problems began. The rent was high, the bills were endless, and some workers left. The restaurant didn't open on time. Then Emma got sick. I had to spend part of the money on her medicine and hospital bills. I told myself I would return it later. But every month, something else went wrong. The fridge broke, the oven stopped working, and the savings started to disappear. Months passed. The restaurant never opened. The $200,000 slowly faded away like sand in my hands. I couldn't sleep at night. I felt guilty and scared. Then, one morning, my phone rang. It was Mr. Adams. His voice was calm, but his words froze my heart. "David," he said, "tell me, the $200,000 I gave you, what did you do with it?" My hands started to shake. I couldn't breathe. The truth was heavy inside me. I didn't know what to say. Should I tell him everything, or lie to protect myself? In part 2, you'll see how one question changes everything, and how the truth can hurt more than lies. I held my phone tightly. My heart was beating fast. Mr. Adams' voice was calm, but his question felt like fire. "Tell me, David, the $200,000 I gave you, what did you do with it?" I wanted to answer, but no words came out. My mouth was dry. My hands were cold. My heart said, "Tell him the truth," but my fear said, "He will hate you." After a few seconds, I spoke softly. "Sir, things didn't go as I planned." There was silence. Then he said, "I'm coming to see you tomorrow. Be ready to talk." My chest felt heavy. I put the phone down and sat quietly. Emma looked at me with worried eyes. "What happened?" she asked. "It's Mr. Adams," I said slowly. "He's coming tomorrow. He wants to know what I did with the money." Emma froze. "David, what will you tell him?" I looked at her. My voice broke. "I don't know. The truth will break him. But if I lie, I'll break myself." That night, I couldn't sleep. I walked around the small apartment, thinking about the past months. I remembered the excitement when we first got the money. I remembered the long nights of planning, the dreams, the hope. And then I remembered how it all fell apart. I thought about Emma's sickness, the broken machines, the rent that never stopped rising. I didn't waste the money on luxury. I tried to build something good. But still, it was all gone. I went to the window and looked at the dark sky. What should I do? I whispered. Should I tell him everything? Emma came to me and held my hand. David, she said softly, the truth hurts, but lies destroy. Tell him the truth. He gave you the money because he trusted you. Don't lose that trust. Her words touched my heart. I nodded. She was right. I had to be honest, no matter the cost. The next morning, I dressed neatly and sat waiting. Every sound outside made me jump. Then, I saw a black car stop in front of the house. Mr. Adams stepped out. He looked the same, kind, calm, but serious. He smiled a little as he entered. David, he said, it's been a long time. Let's talk. I swallowed hard. My hands were shaking. This was the moment. I had to speak the truth, or live with the lie forever. What will David say? Will Mr. Adams forgive him, or will his world fall apart after hearing the truth? In part 3, you'll see the painful conversation that changes everything, and the unexpected reaction that no one saw coming. Mr. Adams sat in front of me, his kind eyes studying my face. The air in the room felt heavy and still. My hands were shaking, and I could hear my own heartbeat. He spoke softly. David, you look worried. Tell me, my boy, what happened with the money I gave you? I looked down. I couldn't meet his eyes. Sir, I said slowly, I wanted to open a restaurant. I worked hard, but things went wrong. The rent was high, workers left, and then, my wife got sick. I spent some of the money on her hospital bills. I tried to fix everything, but I failed. I am so sorry. He was quiet for a moment. I felt my chest tighten. I couldn't tell what he was thinking. Then he asked gently, so the $200,000 is gone? Tears filled my eyes. Yes, sir, I whispered. It's gone. Every part of it. I didn't waste it on bad things. I tried to build something good, but I failed. For a few seconds, there was silence. I was afraid to look up. I thought he would shout, or tell me I was worthless. But instead, he sighed and said, David, lift your head. I looked up slowly. His eyes were sad, but calm. You made mistakes, he said. But you did not steal. You tried. And you cared for your wife. That means something. I felt shocked. You're not angry? I asked quietly. He smiled faintly. I am not happy about the loss, of course. But life is not only about money. It's about how you handle failure. You can rebuild, David. But next time, do it wisely. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Sir, I promise I'll repay every dollar, even if it takes me years, I said firmly. He nodded slowly. That's all I needed to hear. Emma came out of the kitchen, her eyes red from crying. Mr. Adams smiled gently at her. Take care of your health, dear, he said softly. Money can return, but people can't. His words touched my heart deeply. For the first time in months, I felt peace. The fear in my chest began to fade. I realized that honesty was the only thing that could save me, and I had finally chosen it. Before leaving, Mr. Adams turned to me and said, David, I will give you another chance. Not money, but advice. Come see me tomorrow. I want to teach you something that will change your life. My eyes widened. I couldn't believe it. After losing everything, he still wanted to help me. What lesson will Mr. Adams teach David? And how will that advice help him rebuild his life from nothing? In part 4, you'll see how one conversation changes David's destiny forever. The next morning, I woke up early. I couldn't stop thinking about what Mr. Adams said. Come see me tomorrow. I want to teach you something that will change your life. I wore my best shirt, even though it was old. Emma smiled weakly. You'll do great, she said. I kissed her forehead and left. My heart was full of hope, fear, and curiosity all at once. When I reached his office, Mr. Adams greeted me warmly. He wasn't angry. He looked calm, wise, and kind, like a father talking to his son. "David," he said, "sit down. I want to tell you something important." I sat quietly, ready to listen. He looked at me seriously and said, "Money can build your dream, but only wisdom can keep it alive. You had money, but you didn't have a plan. You worked hard, but you didn't protect what you earned. That's why you failed. Now, I will teach you how not to fail again." I listened carefully, every word touching my heart. He continued, "When you start again, don't think about doing everything at once. Start small. Save, learn, and grow slowly. Success is not about speed. It's about stability. Understand this, and you'll never lose again." His words were simple but powerful. I realized that my biggest mistake was rushing, trying to make everything perfect too fast. I wanted results, not progress. He then gave me a small notebook. "Write your ideas here," he said. "But before you spend $1, make a plan. A plan is more valuable than money." I looked at the notebook. It felt light in my hands, but it carried hope. "Thank you, sir," I said softly. "I don't deserve your kindness." He smiled. "David, everyone deserves a second chance. What matters is what you do with it." When I left his office, I felt different, stronger, wiser, more alive. The sky looked brighter, and for the first time in a long time, I believed I could rise again. That evening, I told Emma everything. She smiled, her eyes full of tears. "He believes in you," she said. "Now you must believe in yourself." I opened the notebook and wrote my first line: "Start small, dream big, never give up." That night, I felt hope in my heart again. I didn't have $200,000 anymore, but I had something even more powerful: knowledge, faith, and a chance to begin again. David has a new chance, but will he be strong enough to rebuild from nothing? In part 5, you'll see how his journey begins again, the struggles he faces, and the surprising moment when his past comes back to test him once more. Weeks passed after my meeting with Mr. Adams. His words stayed in my mind every single day. Start small, save, learn, grow slowly. I carried that small notebook everywhere. Inside it, I wrote new ideas, my mistakes, and everything I learned. I didn't have money now, but I had wisdom. I wanted to use it. One morning I told Emma, "I want to start again, but this time I'll go step by step." She smiled softly. "I trust you, David. We don't need a big dream right now. We just need an honest start." So I began small. I borrowed a small food cart from a friend. I started selling sandwiches and coffee near the park. The first day, I made only a few dollars. It was hard, but I didn't give up. Every morning, I woke up early and worked until sunset. Slowly, people began to come back. They liked my food, my smile, and the effort I put into every sandwich. I wrote everything down in my notebook: what I sold, what I earned, and how to improve. Emma helped me in the evenings. Together, we laughed again. Life was still difficult, but it was full of hope. Each small step gave us new strength. One afternoon, as I was closing the cart, a familiar car stopped in front of me. My heart skipped a beat. It was Mr. Adams. He stepped out, looked around, and smiled. "David," he said, "so this is where you started again?" I nodded proudly. "Yes, sir. It's small, but it's honest." He smiled warmly. "I'm proud of you, my boy. You learned the most important lesson: to rise after falling." His words filled me with emotion. I felt tears in my eyes. "Thank you, sir," I said softly. "Without your advice, I would still be lost." He looked at me for a moment and said, "Remember, David, success is not about how high you climb, but how strong you stand after falling." That night, I went home full of gratitude. I had little money, but I felt rich in heart. I knew that this time I would not fail, because I was building slowly with truth and care. Still, deep inside, I had no idea that life was about to test me once more. Something unexpected was coming, something that would question everything I had learned. David finally found peace, but fate isn't done with him yet. In the final part, something happens that forces him to make one more big choice. One that will prove whether he truly learned the value of honesty, love, and second chances. Life was finally calm again. My small food cart was growing. I had loyal customers, and every week I saved a little more money. Emma's health was better, and we were smiling again. One evening, as I was closing the cart, a man came to me. He looked worried and tired. He said softly, "Sir, I lost my job last month. I have a wife and 2 children. Could you please give me something to eat? I don't have any money." I looked at him. His clothes were old, and his eyes were full of sadness. For a second, I saw myself in him. The same fear, the same pain I had felt months ago. I opened my wallet and saw I had only a few dollars left for the night. It was all I had to buy food for home. I stood there for a moment, thinking. Then I smiled and said, "Wait here." I made him a warm sandwich and poured him a cup of coffee. When I handed it to him, he looked shocked. "Sir, I can't pay you," he said. I smiled again. "It's okay. One day, someone helped me too. I'm just passing it forward." He took the food with tears in his eyes. "Thank you," he said softly. Then he walked away into the night. When I went home, I told Emma what happened. She held my hand and whispered, "David, I'm proud of you. That's what true success looks like." The next morning, something unbelievable happened. A black car stopped near my cart again. Mr. Adams stepped out, but this time, he wasn't alone. With him was the same man I had helped the night before. My heart stopped. Mr. Adams smiled. "David," he said, "I sent him to you. I wanted to see who you are now, the man who failed or the man who learned." I couldn't speak. I felt tears in my eyes again. Mr. Adams continued, "You passed the real test, my boy. You lost money once, but you never lost your heart. And that is worth more than $200,000. He handed me an envelope. Inside was a letter and a check. "This is not a gift," he said. "It's an investment. Let's build something together, the right way this time." I stood there frozen, my heart full of gratitude. I shook his hand and whispered, "Thank you, sir. I will never forget this second chance." That evening, as the sun went down, I looked at my food cart and smiled. Life had tested me again, and this time I had passed. Sometimes, the biggest lessons come after the hardest falls. Money can be lost, but honesty, kindness, and faith can rebuild anything. If this story touched your heart, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Give this video a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life emotional stories that remind us, every ending can be a new beginning.